everyone. I'm Darian Gold, and welcome to All Things Pilates Season 6. As we dig deeper into the life of a contrologist, this season's guest list shares what the Pilates methodology can offer to anyone who desires health and wellness. On this show, we'll explore, seek, and investigate what's possible when we incorporate contrology into our lives. In the 1980s, Elena Bartley, our guest today, was a company member of Dance Theater of Harlem, the most prestigious black ballet dance company in the world. As fortune would have it, Elena learned about the Contrology System, AKA Pilates, from the company's executive director, Kathy Grant, who was, as many of you know, a disciple of Joe Pilates. After spending 2 decades as one of the company's soloists, Elena transitioned to teaching Pilates and brought with her a dancer's eye for detail and a passion for movement. She also studied with other first-generation teachers, Fletcher, Gentry, Grimes and Romana Kryzanowska, who all informed Elena's teaching. Hello, Elena. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. It's great to see you again. It's been a minute since we've seen each other.
I know. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you. Okay, Elena, before we dive into your Pilates experience, especially learning the method from so many of Joe's disciples, how amazing was that? My question is, how did a Mexican ballet dancer living in Mexico get the opportunity to audition and then land a soloist role at Dance Theater of Harlem?
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. I made myself the opportunity. I wasn't invited. I actually saw the company in a PBS special, and I just fell in love with the company. I just knew that's where I want to be. That's exactly what I want to be dancing in that studio, which was actually Studio 3 and Dance Theater of Harlem. I was just like, I had to be part of that. You know, I started thinking of going to New York, and one of my friends from the ballet company, very small ballet company in Mexico, wanted to go to New York too. So I didn't go to dance theater first. I knew that was impossible. I knew I wasn't black. I knew that, it was one of the most renowned companies, and I was just this little pea in the pod, not, Mexico, little, nothing. So, but that didn't take away from my dream when I just follow it. And one thing led to the other, but I did not go to dance theater. I went to SAB, so the School of American Ballet.
SAB.
Yeah. And that in itself was an accomplishment because I was 18 years old at that point, and they only accept 16 years old in the last level. So we begged the director through an interpreter that is like, you have to let us in. I mean, there is just no way that you cannot not let us in. And he's like, okay, come to the audition. He's like, no, if you seriously want to sing. I think
no
that just went like, okay, these kids are crazy. Let's see what happens. And they never actually had Mexican students at that point in the summer. So we were kind of like the first ones, the pioneers. So we went there and we knew, that wasn't our place, but it was just experience. And I was there, I was determined to see where Dance Theater of Harlem was. So I find out, and there was a whole bunch of commotion, would not let me in. I did not speak English.
Oh, wait a second. Let's not gloss over that. So you get on the train,
Mm-hmm.
right? You go up to, where is DTH?
It's 152nd.
Okay, 152. Okay, 152nd. So are you taking the number?
You could take the A train or the C train or the number 1. But SAD was right on the 63
63rd
station.
Street.
And it's like, so I took the number 1, which is right. I took the one train, I got off, and, I wasn't really asking. I was just kind of following my instinct to where it was. And it took me a couple of days because I will come back and nothing was there. I was lost, didn't speak English. My second language was French, so couldn't communicate. It was a mess. So one day I said, okay, this is the last time. If I don't find it, okay, it's not for me. So I did, and guess what? I went in, and not just that, that day I saw somebody that I knew from Mexico. He didn't know me. I knew him. He was a principal dancer from the Mexican company, but he was Black, and he was already in Dance Theater of Harlem. He danced briefly in Mexico. And I was like, oh my God, I know you. You are.
Oh, that was serendipitous.
Yeah, I mean, so it was that day that I said, if not, then I quit. So he's like, wait a second, wait, stop. I was like, I just want to go in. I was like, I want to see what's inside. I want to see the company. He was like, oh my God, it's just way too much energy, girl. Hang it down. He got me in, and I met so many people that immediately they start asking me, come to the summer, finish the summer with us. It's like, well, I have to finish with SAB. And as soon as I finish, I'll be here. It's like, but I don't have any much more money. Like, don't worry about the money. It's like, yes, I do worry. I can't.
Oh.
So, like, we'll figure something out. So,
were you living at home with your parents in Mexico?
In Mexico, yes.
But were they a little concerned that you're in New York City?
No, my parents were not that kind. My parents were, my mom especially, she was just so excited. I wasn't scared for myself. They weren't scared.
They weren't scared. They weren't scared for you.
We were just in the emotion that is like, oh my God, what unity. Oh. So, and so that was it. So
I understand.
I went in, I did not audition, I did not nothing. I started taking classes. And when you are passionate about something that much, it shows. It shows. And it was just that kind of energy that's what drives Mr. Mitchell to hire people. He did not really care much about much technique or talent or,
He wanted the passion.
He wanted that raw energy that you will throw yourself into any circumstance. And that's what I had. I was just like a wild horse. I was like, okay, yeah. And also a good asset for him is like you have to have a beautiful feet.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And that's what actually got me, my drive and my feet.
Okay, but then did you have to actually audition?
No. So I went to the school. The company wasn't there. They were in Australia. And as I said, Joe Wyatt was part of the summer. So I was having somebody that spoke a little bit of Spanish, so guiding me. So they liked me immediately. So they asked me to perform with them at the end of the summer. And they gave me a principal role to perform. And to this day is my favorite.
Who choreographed it?
Balancing. It was the fourth temperament, the third team. So I performed that, and they recorded and they sent it to Mr. Mitchell that night. And the next Monday, I went to say goodbye. Thank you very much. It was lovely. And they say, like, no, we're offering you a contract.
Oh my gosh.
I don't understand. I'm like, no, I don't have any more money. I can't stay. It's like, no, we're gonna pay you. It's like, what? Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I feel that same emotion that is like, oh my God. It's like, I'm not coming back. It's like, yeah. It was really amazing.
Did you call your parents? Were you able to?
Yeah.
Let's see, what year is this? 1980?
1980.
You and I ended up in New York. I was 19.
Wow.
I went 1979, I think I was there.
Yep.
Yeah, you get on the trains, you don't know what's going on, but you still do it because you're
absolutely. You just have that drive. You just have like, okay, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do. Nothing is going to stop me for doing it. And but you have to have certain ingredients. You actually have to have that drive, but you have to be able to have the whole package. Your technique has to be good. Your body has to be good for whatever you're searching. I mean, you have to be realistic in those. I mean, my unrealistic thing is like I wasn't black. I was like, or black enough because I'm not black, but I'm brown. It's like, does that count? And apparently it didn't matter at that point, not for the women where a lot of them were as pale as me. There's so many shades of black. I didn't know that at the time. But for men, you had to be dark, but not for women.
Oh, that's interesting. Why is that?
I don't know. I guess it was the aesthetics of the company. I mean, they were all kinds of shades, though. I mean, all kinds of shades of different people, and they were so amazingly beautiful. I mean, I just believe it. And also, I am petite. I am very. I mean, for that kind of company. I mean, I had friends. Sierra Ward was one of the baby ballerinas. She was 16, and she was, how tall is she? Like almost 6 feet, and on point even.
Oh, almost 6 feet flat.
That's how tall some of them were. Lorraine Graves was even taller. So, and there I am.
Wait, how tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Oh, you're 5'3".
And I have a very small feet, so it didn't matter much if I was on point or not. But, I was there and I danced a lot with them.
And then right away, did Arthur Mitchell offer you a soloist job?
No. I became an apprentice, and that was as you come in. Nobody really did come in, women, as soloists or principals. But the men, some of them did, but not the women. You always had to go through the ropes. It took a lot of work. A lot of passion.
Where are you living at this point?
In the very beginning, I was living with someone, but it just lasted maybe a couple of months. And then
I remember those days.
I see to get out of here. That's okay, though. I mean, I was already hired. I was making, I was so proud. $75 a week. Oh, boy.
Oh.
What can you get? Nothing. I lived really in a bad neighborhood. It's called Dykeman Street. It's in 200th Street, or right next to the subway. It's kind of Puerto Rican, Dominican. Right now, it's a different story, but back then it wasn't exactly, my cup of tea. But that was the only thing that I could afford. So I got one bed.
Was that Spanish Harlem?
No, it's a little bit past. It's called Inwood.
Okay.
It's close to the cloisters, but in the other side.
Wow.
So, but I mean, that's what it was. And I got there and it's fine. People start knowing you. So you're not afraid. When you're that passionate about what you're doing, you care less if you are in a hole, you're not even paying attention to that. I mean, later on, I wish I did pay attention, but it didn't matter. I was just happy.
How soon after you were in the company did you meet Kathy Grant?
Well, Kathy was a fixture there in the summer. So when I went in the first summer, I met her and she was there. And she was there teaching the summer for, she was doing the contrology, even though she didn't call it anything. It was just,
What?
some exercises.
She didn't call it anything?
I don't remember that they call it anything. It was just some strengthening exercises on the floor. Or maybe I wasn't paying attention.
She didn't even mention Joe Pilates?
No, I don't remember. I remember I didn't understand English. Like, it took me 5 years to understand English. It took me 5 years. So I will observe a lot and I will copy a lot. So, and I will copy movement and whatever it felt good, and she was always correcting in doing. And a couple of things that she did, and that I do remember, it's the breath, because she would have us like saying things as we roll up or saying
Yes.
things as, I mean, it's like, tell me your full
Yes.
name, where your address, and now the telephone. And through all the exercises that you were doing, you were talking.
Yeah.
Because obviously, and now I know, dancers don't breathe. And instead of her explaining us, no explanation, just move. And then it's like, she was like, okay, I'm tired, you guys, bye. Bye. It's like, she was like that. And she will use anything, I mean, anything that it was accessible there. I mean, it's like, okay, take this, now put it there, now hold it tight, things like that. But you
Did
were
she
not,
demonstrate?
no.
She never demonstrated?
No, it was just like directing. And I was just following whoever was there. And I remember this girl, and she followed her a lot. She was one of the people that actually, the dancers that follow Kathy through the studio and all that. Her name is Iris Cloud. And she was one of the teachers at that point, and she was a dancer. She became again a teacher, and she knew the routine. So it's like I will copy her, and every morning that she was teaching in the summer, we will start with the same exercise. But I was familiar with those exercises because my teacher, my ballet teacher in Mexico, used a set of warm up that it was pretty similar to what Kathy had. Some of them were weird, and it was weird for me to talk through the exercise.
Sure.
But then, we say like, oh, this feels different. This feels easier. This feels more articulation. But you weren't paying attention as a dancer. You just want to get more turnout, legs higher, more pirouettes.
Of course.
It was later on that I started paying attention how Pilates and ballet technique were really a pair. And that was with Romana, really, not with Kathy.
Oh, you will have those aha moments with Romana and instead of Kathy.
Yeah, because I was serious by then with Romana. I knew that it was Pilates. I wanted to do Pilates, and I was actually in a track for professional training, certification, what they call. So then I was like, oh, wow, this feels good, this doesn't. And then, through my curiosity as the same thing as you, I am also a very nerd about movement. I am totally a nerd. I mean, I am a bonehead, I'm a nerd, very curious about movement. So I will experiment too and why does it feel like this? Why doesn't it feel like that? Then one of the aha moments in here, and that started for me to pay more attention, was that I got really strong. But one of my features in dance was my arabesque, my leg extension to the back. My leg extension to the back, because I'm a loosey-goosey on my lumbar spine, was very high. And so that was good. And I got so strong and my back got dropped. And it's like, that can't happen because, as you know, you are featured with that talent. And if you don't have that, you might lose your job because you become an average. Everybody's strong. Everybody can do. You have to be singled out. So I started thinking, why is that? So I'm going to start playing with how I'm doing this and probably pay attention of the extension.
Had you made it to the apparatus yet at this point?
Yes, at this point I have. Yeah, with Romana. So I started experimenting. I finished my certification teacher training in many years because I was still dancing. And, my story about getting into Pilates was different. I didn't have the money. I mean, making $75 a week is nothing. The Pilates classes my friends were taking, either with Kathy or with Sean or with Romana, with anybody, they were in the range of $35 to $50 a pop because they're private lessons, though. I mean, even though it's in the late 80s, and I had no, like, forget it. No way I could actually spend that kind of money. So I got injured, thank God. And Dr. Rose was our doctor, and I begged him. It's like, you have to give me Pilates, please, please. Sean Gallagher was our PT, and he says, like, Sean just opened a studio, so it's going to be the same thing. I'll make sure that he gets.
Is this PAPT on 74?
Yeah, right underneath steps. So
and next to Zabar's.
Yeah.
Zabar's. Oh my gosh.
Love it. So it was great. He agreed. So I went to Pilates class. My first teacher was Steve Giordano, which with Sean, and he had worked with Romana. So Dr. Rose provided me from scholarship for a full year of Pilates in Sean Gallagher's studio. Yeah, the one right next to Savers and underneath steps was perfect. So Steve Giordano was my first teacher, and the year went fast. So he came back to me and he says, okay, that's it, you have to go. But there is something I can do, and we're going to start the certification with this teacher. Her name is Romana Kryzanowska. She's going to start working with us. And if you want, you pay me $2,000 cash, and you can be in, and it can be done at any time. You can come in anytime. You have full use of the studio, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you to complete because I know you travel. And I was really, there was a couple of us. Another girl from Dance Theater that took it, Judy Tyrus, she's the principal. And so we said, okay, well, if those are the conditions, we take it. So it took us a little while to pay $2,000. It was a lot of money, so it had to be saved on tour. It's like, you'd rather not eat per diem. You just, so I did pay, and he did honor that. However, it was not ideal for Romana. I mean, it was ideal for him. But now that I do, or I did teacher trainings for many years, I can imagine what she thought. It's like, this little ballerinas, bunheads, they're not ready for being a Pilates teacher or even being close to the method because they don't deserve it. And definitely we didn't, though. I care for myself and the method to understand it, but not the way that I should have. And also, I did not intend by any means to teach Pilates. Never in my right mind I was going to do that. I was like, something that it was a gem for me. I loved it. It made me feel good. It made me feel strong, and it started making me understand my movement and my curiosity about movement. But I was like, I can never teach this. I can never teach. And
because you wouldn't know how to break it down, or what do you mean you couldn't?
Well, I just didn't think it was for me. I thought, I was a ballerina and I'm going to teach ballet. But one thing led to the other, and many years later, I started teaching Pilates instead of ballet. And that's when I started in Mexico. Well, I mean, I did work with Sean, my apprentice, years. I think it was like a year that I worked in his studio.
Is this 1991, 92?
Yeah, it must have been because I didn't have my kids yet, and I was, I guess it must have been 92. Yeah, I stopped dancing in 92. So that's when I finished my certification, and I did a full year of apprentice in his studio, and Bob Lickens was the main teacher there. He just had moved from Romana. And I was different, though, from Romana.
Romana was at Drago's, right?
Yes. And that's where I did all my the end of my teaching. I did 6 months with Romana, teaching there at 6 in the mornings and all that, and then did my testing. And then I started working with Sean for a little bit, for a year. And then that's it. I took off.
Did you go back to Mexico?
No, I went to Thailand. I had 2 kids by then. And I went to Thailand when there was no Pilates. And I was trying to teach it in a beautiful health club. They did not understand me. I was like, but this is hard. This is too hard. I was like, yes. Because there was no equipment and I only had like a magic circle and TheraBands and stuff. I started trying to make sense of the method with what I had. So that's when I started really evolving in my thinking, not just taking what I knew the way I learned it, but it's like why and why. And one thing to the other and to the other. And then, you start going away from one thing and coming back later on with more knowledge. So, I experimented with a lot of the other side, contemporaneous Pilates and all the people that were making up stuff. And I found it.
Oh, you're saying contemporary.
Right. So I did like it in a while to only make me go back to classical to understand it. Why are they making this up? Why can't they just stay with this? It's here. So, and that's why I started going to all the teachers I could. At that point, it was John Fletcher that I took a couple of workshops, and my best friend was teaching the method as Ron Fletcher knew it. And Ron Fletcher loved her. Her name is Rebecca Ramos in LA. And she was working with Diane Defender, so they were really tied into Ron. And I loved it, but it's so different from what I know.
So Ron went off on his own as Eve, Jay to some extent, Kathy. And that was one of my questions because you have worked with 5, Ron, Eve, Jay, Romana, and Kathy. Were they very much different?
Totally
They were totally different, I see.
Yeah, but totally different in the same route. They had the same route. They didn't deviate from the route. It was just the ways it was different.
Can you give an example?
They all moved from the center. And it was very, very important that you find your core.
Well, they were all dancers.
Yeah. But dancers, we are the worst with our pelvis. We just had no idea what to do with it.
That's a good point.
Right there.
That's a good point.
So it's how can you stabilize it without talking, without doing, or without being overly extended? How can I do this from the center? Or Ron, it was the most that I took from him was the breath. And it took me so long that I, very percussive and noise, and that it did wonders for, opening my lungs and all that. Once I was able to really direct it to the core and not leaving it in my throat.
Yes.
Because it took time to actually practicing, believing in it. Then I decided it really wasn't for me. That was not what I wanted because it was very difficult not to get into your neck and throat. Yes. And if you were not able to actually fully digest the entire system, the way he has it, because he goes beautifully with the movements that he does. But for me, it was more dance than Pilates.
What about Eve? How about Eve?
It was the reverse. Eve was all about the pre-Pilates. From the walk, from how you're walking, pay attention to how you're placing your heel and then your foot. Then you see that's first. That's not ballerina first. That's not Pilates stance. It's your walk. It's how you march. So it has nothing to do with a position that we made up. It's just how you actually come into your natural turnout. It's like, wow. It's like, now that you pointed out. So that's what it is.
Okay, wait. So let's stop right there. Hey, everyone. Want to level up your teaser? When I'm not interviewing or editing, I'm helping students just like you get to the next level. If you'd like to understand the Contrology technique, come learn from me, whether online or in person. Just know I'm here and happy to help. Now, back to the interview. So you're talking about how a skeleton, if we're imagining a skeleton hanging, the feet are slightly everted, but that doesn't mean the femurs are externally rotated. Because I think Joe's cue was heels together, toes apart. But he never said anything about the actual thigh bone. Is that correct?
Not that I know.
Eve would have you walk. Mm-hmm. So there's a very slight eversion of the feet, but your thigh bones are forward?
It depends on your body structure. So, I mean, this was actually a revelation for me because she didn't say anything. She's like, just walk, keep walking. And then it's like, well, everybody's walking, heel, toe. Only dancers walk toe, heel.
Right.
It has nothing to do with walk, It's like, so then, the natural heel, put your heel on the floor, just like stop right there. And then look how your toes are not pointing forward. Otherwise, you're going to be toe-heel instead of heel-toe. And that is your stance. Those are your stance. You don't have to turn out more. You don't have to squeeze your butt. You don't have to do anything. Just structurally and biomechanics, that's what it is.
Did Eve not spend a lot of time, as Romana did, talking about squeezing the glutes?
No. And also, I mean, the few times that I went, it was all about just the pre-Pilates. Did not, because I was not really doing a certification. I was just doing workshops that she was offering.
Did Eve talk about Joe Pilates?
Yeah.
Okay, so not so much Kathy, but Eve spent some time.
Well, I mean, I don't know, Kathy. I remember I didn't understand English.
That's a good point. Yeah.
At this point, I understood.
Could have said everything about him. You wouldn't know.
No idea what you're talking about. 5 years later, the first thing I understood is it doesn't make sense. And I was like, I understand that. That was my first word. And it never made sense. So, but Eve, of course, I mean, it's like, this is because of this and this. I mean, she was breaking it down for us. It's not like she was going to stop there, but it's like, it's easier if you give it in small bites. You have to start from here. And then from here, it's going to develop into, the position or into how you're going to do the roll of the 100, everything. I mean, she worked with that. But to get to that, you had to go through hoops. But then, that didn't mean that you had to stay there for it. No, you just go through it. And so, and then, of course, there is the other side of the coin, which is like, don't do anything, go hundreds. That's it. It's like, wait a second. I mean, it works for certain people, but not for everybody. If you have clientele that is
not ready.
Full stomachs and they never move.
Yeah, you can't give them 100.
You can't just start from, that and expect them to get better.
So now you had Ron, Eve. Did you spend time with Jay in his program, or was this before he started his program?
No. That was after. That was actually one of the last. It took me two years to complete the program for some unfortunate reasons. But anyway, that it wasn't unfortunate after all, because then it took me to repeat it and to finally being able to understand it better. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Right.
After all.
Right.
However, no, she is more than just move. Don't talk, move, 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 move. At that point, it was good for me because I could get to analytics,
Yes,
you
of
know.
course. You're a ballet dancer.
Exactly, but sometimes that works against you. It's
Yes.
like move. Yeah, it's like, and don't talk, just move.
That was
So
Romana.
yeah, and it's like you're not giving a lecture, just move.
You're not
So
giving a lecture. That's good.
they don't care. And
Yes.
yes, they don't care. They don't care. They want to do a workout. This is a workout. Even though for me, it wasn't just a workout, but it is a workout. It is a workout. And it was intended to be a workout. It's an amazing workout that it has so many layers and so many things to offer. Everybody can do Pilates one way or the other, but you have to learn it. You have to take the time.
Let me ask you something, Elena. The Pilates method is taught a certain way here in America. And I was wondering, is there a difference between America and that of Latin America? Are there differences?
Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, not nice.
Not nice.
It's not. And, it's difficult though. I mean, especially in the rest of the world that doesn't have too much money. And this method is expensive in itself.
So it's an economic issue. It's not like people aren't interested.
No, they are very interested. But in Latin America, I mean, and I hate saying this because I know people are going to take it the wrong way, but it doesn't matter. It's true. I've been teaching the method in Mexico, Costa Rica, Brazil, other places. I went to Chile, I went to Venezuela, and almost every province in Spain. And first of all, there was no classical Pilates when I started. And I tell you, it was 15 years ago. Maybe two schools in Spain, and of course, very good ones. I mean, Javier Perez Pont was one of them, but they're close to the public. If you don't belong to Romana school, and they're not going to let you in. And
I've heard that many times. That's unfortunate.
In Mexico, nothing. There was nothing. 15 years ago, I went to Mexico to see my parents. I saw a billboard that says, "Look at me, I'm beautiful because I do Pilates." And it's like, that is a yoga pose. It's like, who is this person? I'm going to go contact her. It's like, don't say Pilates when you're doing it.
Yes.
I mean, I'm like, what? No, this is Pilates. It's like, no. You want me to teach you a class? It's like, yeah, come teach me a class. I go to the studio and they have candles everywhere around the reformer and the lights are off.
Oh my. Okay.
That cold is like, oh, that's how we do Pilates. It's like, what? Turn the lights on.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, I'm going to teach you what I know. It's like, who do you know this from? It's like, this is what I learned from Romana. But it had been many years after, though, and I was already in my quest of learning more. So anyway, I started teaching teacher trainings because they did not get it. And when people would come to Mexico, but speak English, Mexicans did not speak English.
Right.
So how can you translate scoop then? Or how can you translate those little nuances? I was like, wait, I even had to relearn to speak Spanish in Pilates. And I did, a huge research on how can I translate it.
Yes. That was one of my questions. That must be really challenging.
It was very challenging, especially when I learned Pilates in English. However, the Pilates method is in English, and you have to respect the names in English. It's just like ballet. You say it however you want. Butcher it if you want, but learn it in English. I can give you the translation, but do not say it in Spanish. Say it in English.
Oh.
And That was a big no. Oh, no, no. It's like, no, yes, yes. Otherwise, you're not going to understand when someone else comes. It has taken me almost 20 years to make them understand. And they made up Pilates. They made it up. And it was because of the lawsuit in the 2000s.
Yeah.
You can't say that it wasn't
Oh
Pilates.
my gosh, that just changed the course so drastically.
Horrible. But I was determined that I was not going to say that this is wrong. It's just different. It's like, okay, great. I'm so happy that you learned Pilates 10 years ago. But let's figure this out.
Yes.
And I'm going to teach what I know. I'm not going to say it's better, it's best, whatever. This is where
You
I
experience it.
And just see how it feels.
Right.
I didn't say anything because I knew that I said it was classical. They were going to kick me out of the room.
Yes.
It had a bad reputation.
Yep.
It really did have a bad reputation. And everybody says, like, you're talking under. It's like, no, you don't understand. Let's figure this out in every single body. It's not the same. So people did not take the time to understand it. Even if they went to New York for 2 years, 2 years is not enough.
No.
Not enough.
Elena, let me ask you, have you taught in this country, in America?
Yes. I lived in Ohio for, well, first of all, I lived in New York for many, many years, and that's where
Yeah.
But then soon after I quit dancing, I had 2 kids, and then I moved first to Thailand, and then I didn't want to come back to New York. It's too expensive, so I went to Ohio. That was my first encounter. This lady visiting a museum with my mother-in-law was like, oh, this is Cynthia Taylor, and she has a Pilates studio. No, isn't that what you actually teach there, Elena? It's like, yeah. It's like, oh, really? You have a Pilates studio? And it's like, yeah. You know what? She was studying with Eve, and she would take any workshop that she could take. I mean, she was also wealthy, so she was able to do that. But when I went to her studio, oh my God, I was like, no.
So hold on. Not more candles, not more candle burning.
Well, might as well. It was just, she did not understand it. So I started working with her. And because I started working with her, and I worked even a little bit of ballet so she could understand where this was coming from. You know, how the use of the feet and how the use of the lengthening and what was that. And so she liked it very much. So we became kind of partners. And then later on, it was a disaster. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I developed a lot of my teaching technique working with her. She was hard to understand. She was an older lady, very eager, very fit, but had no knowledge of body awareness. So to awakening all the parts, and she did learn, but then.
I like what you said. I like what you said about Contrology, that it's so multi-layered, that it really is a lifelong study.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something. We talked about this in the pre-interview, and feel free to express yourself. How's that for a preamble?
I'm afraid.
Okay. So yeah, you can say whatever you would like to say. Will you speak about this exclusive club that seems to be in our community, various cliques that seem to exist? I know it's not me because I hear it from a lot of people, that there's definitely a vibe out there more on the classical side than the contemporary side, because I think those folks are a lot more open generally to anything, So I would have to say on the classical side, there's definitely some cultish behavior. And I'm wondering if you agree, and if you do agree, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I do totally agree. And there is definitely clubs and cliques and all that. And, I give a lot of thought of that because for many years I was annoyed by them. If, why certain people are just can be promoted or can be called for giving more opportunities than others. And you can actually even see it through, after the pandemic, everything kind of like went boom. You never really saw any Pilates teachers other than they were super fit and super, sorry for saying the word like that. And I don't mean it disrespectfully. Why? It was only, and if you were not fit in those molds, you were not going to be called into, into the clique, into the club, into promoting, to whatever. So, but that happened to me.
So wait, so are you saying that these cliques were all white people?
Yeah. In the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the beginning. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's changing a lot. You see now all different colors, all different shapes of people, and a lot more races in it. Still not as much as I would like to Latin Americans that live in Latin America, not Latins that live in the United States. Latins live in their countries representing their craft because nowadays they are people that have 20 years experience of teaching the method or more, and they still live in their countries and they have researched the method. They have, don't see them giving the opportunity, really. But anyway, and that's why I always gave myself my own opportunity.
You created your own opportunities.
It's like, yeah, but that's from dance, It's like when I was.
Yes. You had that experience when you were 18.
Well, yeah, I mean, I do, I was in a company that I was the minority of the minority. So, and I understood that I was not going to be given the opportunity. So how can I create my opportunity? Well, in dance, I learned everybody's role. Everybody's role. In any given time, I could be on stage, if the opportunity.
Something happened.
Right. And one time it did. And that's how I became a soloist. Somebody got hurt, like right there in front of me. And I ran on stage, and it wasn't.
A Star is Born.
I was the principal. I was like, nobody's going in. The partner's right there. I know it. So I ran. Oh my God.
How exciting.
This guy just opened his eyes. He's like, what the hell? You're in a process. It's like,
you're this tiny thing also.
Oh my God. So, it was funny though. I was petrified at the end. I was like, oh my God, Mr. Mitchell's going to crucify me. How dare you? But then he's like, looked at me and he's like, good job. What's that? I was like, oh my God. And then from then on, he trusted me a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But not enough that made me happy that I felt like, that I can show what I got. So I created my own opportunities and do the same thing in Pilates.
I'm glad that you are saying this because one of my last questions to you was advice for teachers who may not be getting the opportunities. I love that you're putting out there that you create your own opportunity. Basically, you create your own reality. Mm-hmm. So if you're not being let into whatever clique, exclusive club, why would you want to be in them anyway? You create your own.
Exactly. And I know from seeing you, it's like you have no idea how long I searched for you.
Oh.
And it was only by chance that I came across to you again. I saw your video in the 90s, right? Or 2000s?
My first app was in the App Store in 2010, I believe.
Okay, so that was done. Okay, so
actually, that's not true. I think I had videos out there beforehand. I can't remember because it's a long time ago. But I didn't know you were searching for me. You were searching for me?
Well, yeah, because I saw the video. I loved the video. I wanted to be that person in that video. It's like, how can she do that? It's like, it felt amazing. I was like, I want to feel like that. I want to look. I mean, I understand how it feels just by looking at her. I want to know more. How can I? And I research my body and all that. I mean, even though I'm a ballerina, I'm not Lucy or like watery like you were. I mean, that movement is just to me so intriguing. But I never found you. There were no social media. And then after
I know
that you were sick, and I was like, this is her. This is that person that I want, And then, I moved to many things. I had to move back to Mexico, and then I saw you again, and I told you, I was like, I want to take some privates from you.
I guess you reached out with Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like a long time ago already.
I know, but it was like, oh my God. So I saw a couple of your clips, and it's like, this is her. And I just thought, you just see people out there and you just kind of like idolize them, and you just like, she must be a star. She must be, how come she's not in any of the platforms?
Have I ever been invited? That would be a very, very hard no.
But that's what I mean. It's like, your passion for detail is amazing.
Thank you.
And it conveys the platform still. It's like, why can't they have her so I can actually follow her in those classes? And if I want more, then I can reach out to her. Then it doesn't happen. But I did find you, thank God, for Instagram.
Yes.
And, so it's not necessarily who knows more or who knows it in a way that, some people crave. But the reality is not that many people crave this kind of depth.
That's a really good point.
It probably doesn't sell as much as
yes,
let's hang here. It's like, oh my God. They keep showing all these things.
What's interesting, though, is I think a majority of my students all want that depth. And when I teach, from my experience, many, many, many decades, we don't have to say 5, but 5 decades worth, I am in there with you when I'm teaching. I'm in your body with you.
Yeah.
So it seems as if the students who are open to that experience and want to dig in deeper, they're the ones who are transforming.
Absolutely. But I think it needs to be shared, and it's up to the public to come across that. And it's just like, I want to do that. I want to take the time. But if we don't present it out there, then it's, again,
people don't know it exists.
Yeah, it's a very, very elite club again, which I am thrilled to be part of it. But I think that's the kind of things that it will preserve the method the way that it should be preserved. And it is still, you're not changing anything. You're not changing the workout. You're just making it more depth to each body,
Yes.
And we're not changing anything. It's not a philosophy. It's not anything. It's just learn it this way too and see what happens.
Yes.
But that's why I always get in trouble for saying that. But it doesn't really matter.
And thank you for your kind words. Elena, if a teacher or a student wants to reach out to you, do you have a website?
I am the founder and director of Pilates Video, which is a platform, the only platform in Spanish, like Pilates Anytime or Pilatesology.
Oh, wonderful.
And they can me just like that. There is, I take every single email, or they can connect me through Instagram, Elena Bartley, or my Facebook, Elena Bartley, and messengers, all that. And I answer every single one of them.
All right, Elena, thank you so much for your time today. And I'm so glad that you're one of my students and a friend, and I hope to see you in Mexico at some point soon.
Absolutely. I'd be so delighted for you to come.
Yes, and I think we probably could get a nice, healthy group of people.
That would be awesome. I would love that. That would be amazing.
Yes, you would be a beautiful host, I can already tell.
Oh, it would be fun.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you. And thank you. It was definitely an honor to be part of your podcast.
All Things Pilates is produced, written, edited, and hosted by me, Darian Gold. Mastered audio mix, Fabian Romero. Original music, AKA Johnny. And we'd love for you to leave us a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. That way you let all of us know what you like about All Things Pilates. Also, if you're interested in helping to support this podcast, become a subscriber. It helps to cover all the back-end costs that accrue when producing a show. To learn more about how you can be part of our growing community, check out our show notes. Lo que es para mí, siempre será para mí. If it is going to be, it will always come to me.